Hey, it's Inspiration4U.
Hello everyone, welcome. Today we will interview Lia with the occasion of the International Women's Day. Thank you very much for joining. It's a real pleasure having you here. Lia has been working at the intersection of technology, business, and social science. Her training in philosophy and public health at Coimbra University in Portugal, together with her concern for challenges in society, have encouraged her to combine research with positions in industry. She has already held various positions. So she is an associate member at the Center for Biomedical Law at the University of Coimbra, Portugal, and eventually founded a project called EITIC, where she focused on ethical issues. In addition, she has led social impact initiatives, co-facilitating the last Web Summit masterclasses, and was recognized at the Women in AI Ethic annual summit as one of the 100 brilliant women in AI ethics for 2024. So yeah, amazing. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Paula, for the introduction. And it's my pleasure to be here with you and all the team.
In fact, we have to also thank this interview to the Women's ERG at Unit 4, especially to Sarah, Camille, and Mafalda, who invited us for this session. In my case, I am a PhD in statistical physics by the University of Granada in Spain, and has been data scientist in Unit 4 for the last 3 years. Well, first of all, we would like you to share a bit more about your journey into the field of AI ethics.
This is always a big question for me because my journey has, as probably some people know, my journey in the field of ethics has been influenced by my diverse academic background, beginning with a degree in philosophy, where I gained a comprehensive understanding of ethics, and subsequently I pursue a master's degree in public health, focusing on bioethics, which expanded my scope behind philosophy into realms of technology science and social sciences. And over time, I transitioned into science and technology management and eventually became a consultant. So I decided to diversify as a consultant to understand more flexible process and learn more agile methodologies to better understand the business context. But of course, the transition of knowledge between academic sector and business sector brought me enriching but also very challenging experience, you know. But to answer your question directly, the emergence of IE in my career was very natural. Firstly, because philosophy provides conceptual, thus theoretical tools essential for analyzing the ethical impacts of IE on society, from autonomy to moral responsibility and social justice. And secondly, from a practical point of view, the notion of algorithm goes hand in hand with a formal logic, which is also a domain well developed in philosophy. And this combination of knowledge provide me with a solid foundation to explore the ethical complexities of IE and seek solutions, you know.
Based on all this experience you have, no, on very different aspects, in your opinion, what are the most pressing ethical concerns in AI development and application today?
There are a lot. So, in my opinion, it's difficult, but in my opinion, the most pressing ethical concerns in AI development and application today stem from issues such as bias and fairness, transparency, accountability, privacy and security, and social impact. And these concerns are exacerbated by the potential of misuse of high technologies, the perpetuation of societal biases within algorithms, and the lack of comprehensive regulations to govern AI development and usage. So accountability needs to be clarified in critical areas, especially when AI systems make mistakes or cause damage, So I think that explainable AI needs to be widely developed because ethical concerns extended to all areas from property issues, social manipulation with fake news, or autonomous weapons.
Yeah, completely.
In a
And
short version.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. It's yeah, great and complex challenges for all us. And so you have mentioned bias. Can you explain a little more about bias, how it occurs in AI models, and its implications on society?
Very quickly, I think it wouldn't be wrong to say that bias in IE occurs, and you can correct me, but occurs when training data is skewed or unrepresentative, leading to discriminatory outcomes, and this bias can perpetuate societal inequalities and reinforce stereotypes and undermine trust in IE systems. And we know that the scale uh, of web is not the scale of reality. And we also know that AI systems are trained on large amounts of data. And consequently, these biases can become ingrained in AI algorithms, perpetuating and amplifying unfair or discriminatory results in crucial areas such as health, hiring, uh, criminal justice. And for example, if a company uses an AI system to select the candidates for jobs by analyzing their CVs, that AI system could be trained based on historical data of successful hires within the company. However, if the historical data is biased, containing gender or racial prejudices, the AI system can learn and perpetuate these prejudices, discriminating against candidates who don't match the company historical hires. So the social implications, in my point of view, of these bias are significant, and it can lead to exclusion and marginalization of minority groups, further widening existing inequalities in society.
Lot of implications, right? Yeah.
A lot of implication. I just give it a short example, but we have a lot of
Yeah.
implications in different sectors, of course.
Knowing all this, no, all these concerns you have, and all these high impacts, relevant impacts in society, um, what changes would you like to see to ensure ethical AI development and usage?
To ensure this IE development and usage, it's crucial to implement rigorous testing and validation process to detect and mitigate bias in IE algorithms. And additionally, it's important to promote transparency and accountability, like I already said, in IE systems, and fostering diversity and inclusion within IE development teams that can help address ethical concerns, of course. And another issue concerns the difference or the differences between national, European, and international scales regarding the application of legislation, sometimes without bidding power. So for me, it's imperative that organizations and governments adopt a collaborative and a global approach in formulating ethical policies for AI. Um, we know currently there is an agreement on the artificial intelligence regulation law from European Union, which defines guidelines, limitations, and obligations for companies or individuals, organizations developing or working with algorithms or generative solutions, which we hope will be implemented by 2026. Um, it's like we used to say in Portugal about law and the issue of representation quotas. Uh, they are like dental braces. They are not pretty, but they stretch them out, you know.
Very challenging but necessary, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so and on in all these measures and practices and um, yeah, how important is interdisciplinary collaboration in these practices, and what fields do you think should be involved in it?
As you know, I'm also a result of this interdisciplinary collaboration, and we also know that interdisciplinary collaboration is indeed crucial in advancing ethical IE practices. So the involvement of diverse fields such as philosophy, computer science, critical design, health economics, arts, literature, sociology, ethics, and others is essential in addressing the multifaceted ethical challenges posed by AI technologies. And each of these disciplines um, of files brings unique perspectives and expertise to the table, allowing for a more comprehensive understanding of ethical implications of AI systems. And for example, philosophers can provide insights into frameworks and principles, while computer scientists can offer technical expertise in algorithm design and implementation. And furthermore, um, involving files such as design, health, economic, and sociology ensures that high policies and guidelines consider the broader societal impacts and implications, including issues related to healthcare accessibility, economic disparities, and social justice. So, by fostering collaboration across these diverse files, we can develop more um, holistic and inclusive approaches to AI ethics, ultimately leading to the creation of AI systems that will benefit society.
Yeah, yeah. Not only interdisciplinary collaboration, but also gender diversity, right? And minority groups, no? How do you see the role of gender diversity within AI development and in and ethics?
It's up to me to convey the message that what is strictly legal may not be generally accepted as ethical. And it is in this gray area that most ethical problems arise. And in this sense, the ethical discussion also stands out from the compliance context. And that's why, in my perspective, acting on the values of integrity, diversity, equity, and inclusion is allow us demarcation through a transparency standard aimed at enabling informed decision making. And this means that gender diversity in AI development teams is what will make it possible to have a positive impact on the ethics of AI solutions, bringing um, diverse perspectives and experiences to the table. And the issue of representation um, always remind us of a kind of a basic principle. Making policies for and making policies with are very different things, and the same applies to AI development.
Okay, so then looking to the future, no? So, what are you most optimistic about in terms of ethical AI in development and application in the future?
This is a tricky
Yeah.
question. For an ethical perspective, but sometimes I'm optimistic about the potential for the ethical development and application of AI to address societal challenges and improve decision-making process with reduced errors, particularly um, in medical context. I believe that continuous interdisciplinary collaboration and responsible governance, i.e., was the capacity to positively transform various aspects of our lives while respecting ethical principles. For this reason, um, I very much expect that high ethicists, data scientists focused on ethical modeling and AI compliance officers will become increasingly important in the future. I
Yeah, me
hope
too.
so.
Me too. I think we are realizing about how important this is with all these news and yeah, yeah, for sure. So yeah, regarding that, no, what role does education play in preparing this next generation of AI professionals in order to achieve this that we are saying?
Yes, it's not just education. I used to say early education plays a critical role in preparing the next generation of AI professionals to tackle ethical challenges. Knowing that education is a pillar of social development, I believe it is urgent to reintegrate ethics into curricula and promote lifelong learning opportunities because can empower individuals to navigate complex ethical dilemmas effectively. But I need to ask a provocative question to those who listen to us, because if sometimes I find myself asking if ethics is studied in philosophy courses, why is this area so poorly treated, at least in Portugal? What precedent is set every time we ignore the need to integrate people who master the differences between comparative ethics, normative ethics, and meta ethics, for example? And of course, there is another underlying issue where that would make for a debate about whether the courses are necessary or not. I know this, but I think it's important to share that erasing the arts and social sciences gradually, limiting the number of vacancies for these people in technology, uh, lowering the economic values available for research, arguing that they are abstract areas is not a good way forward. I thought some historical moments had already taught us that, but
Okay, so and regarding also education, no, like um, how can women and underrepresented groups be better supported or encouraged to pursue careers in AI, tech, and what advice would you give to these women aspiring to enter these fields?
a multifaceted approach is crucial to support women and underrepresented groups in pursuing careers in AI and technology, of course. Initiatives such as mentoring programs, scholarships, and networking opportunities, such as those offered by organizations like Women in AI Ethics, are essential. um, it is important to recognize that not everyone starts from the same place or has access to the same opportunities. So providing support and resources is critical. And this is why UNESCO launched Women for Ethical AI, a collaborative platform to support the efforts of governments and companies to ensure that women are equally represented in the design of development and development of AI. And additionally, early education uh, significantly fosters interest and confidence in STEM fields among young girls and minorities. I think encouraging girls and underrepresented groups to explore STEM areas from a young age through programs, workshops, and exposure to role models in the field can help break down barriers and stereotypes. Um, and furthermore, addressing systematic barriers and biases within the industry is essential. It means companies and educational institutions should actively work to create inclusive environments and provide equal opportunities for women um, underrepresented groups to drive in IE and tech careers. Because the big question remains, will IE help close the gender gap or not?
Yeah. Let's start, yeah, closing all this and recap all these thoughts. So, what advice would you give to companies and individuals looking to make positive impact on AI ethics? And if possible, can you recommend any resource for our listeners?
So my advice to companies and individuals looking to make positive impact on IE ethics is obviously to prioritize transparency, accountability, and fairness in IE development processes. It's essential to invest in AI ethics training for teams, addressing issues such as algorithm bias, data privacy, and social responsibility. And it is essential to adopt best practices for data collection and algorithm design. Of course, the involvement or intersection of various stakeholders can help resolve ethical issues effectively. And for this reason, I also recommended that companies set up high ethics committees made up of external experts to ensure the necessary representativeness. Regarding to resources, we can share in after this, or I can send. But I can share several, such as the Women in I Ethics directory that I mentioned earlier, or the content provided by algorithmic Justice League organization, um, or the book Women, Invisible Women, Database in a World Designed for Men by Caroline Criado Perez, and the book by, of course, Feifei Li, who, as you know, founded ImageNet. Her last book is the Worlds I See, Curiosity, Exploration, and Discovery at the Dawn of AI.
Nice. Thanks so much. Yeah, we will share all these links and even more resources, no, in this podcast. So great. Thanks so much. And yeah,
Yeah.
final question. As we celebrate International Women's Day, what message would you like to leave to our audience regarding women contribution to AI ethics?
As we celebrate International Women's Day, it's essential to recognize and celebrate invaluable contributions of women in the field of high ethics. Of course, I think it's a good day to note the legacy of Ada Lovelace, whose work paved the way for the inclusion of women in technology, of course. And given the theme of the 2024 International Women's Day campaign is inspiring inclusion, I think we should reflect on the urgent need to guarantee the representation of women in decision making and technological development. Because according to the Global Gender Gap Report from 2023 by the World Economic Forum, 131 years are needed to achieve total gender parity. So, in my view, this is not just a question of justice, it's a question of progress and equity for all humanity. So, today, we must reaffirm our commitment to working um, tirelessly to create a world where all voices are heard, where all opportunities are equally accessible, and where the potential of every person is fully realized.
It has been a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining and sharing all your expertise and opinions. And and yeah, for sure, yeah, we will ask you for all other these resources to share them. And yeah, thank you all for joining this session.
Thank you.